Hey, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys already know, it is Nick here back with your daily crypto content. I have this screen up because this is going to be a little bit of a history in the making. So I honestly don't know what to make of what's about to happen in this market. I am expecting some very volatile prices to play out very soon. We are seeing some bearish things happening. So with that being said, let me refresh this, make sure that we are up to date. So yeah, we are currently down about 2.77%, still holding strong at that 37.7K. Now, why am I bullish or bearish? I mean, on crypto currently. Well, very, very easy to understand. So right now we do see exchanges changing leverage, changing withdrawal size, Uniswap not allowing some assets to be traded. Tomorrow is the day we get some regulatory news, and all of this leading into it. Definitely think we see a bit of volatility in the next 24 to 30 hours. 100% agree. It's getting very scary out there, to be completely honest with you guys. We do see intimidated by crypto regulations. The Binance CEO CZ sure isn't. He plans to get his exchange regulated everywhere and is willing to step down as CEO to make it happen. I don't know. I mean, this kind of sounds a little sketchy to me, to be completely honest with you. And I'm not trying to play into the fear narrative. Like, trust me, I'm not. Like, I'm worried about short term just prices, not long term. Always have a little bit of fiat on the side for anything that happens in this space. It's always worth it to, have a little bit of profit just sitting there. I'm not saying, take all your profit or sell all your alts or anything like that. I'm just saying, from my personal standpoint, is, stuff like this, usually does not play out very well. I'm personally expecting a little bit of more FUD to play out with these regulations. A lot of people are very bullish on it. Me personally, I can't sit back and say, hey, I'm very bullish on crypto right now, short term, because there is a lot of stuff playing out that could play into the narrative of us pushing down onto a lower support zone, which is that 33.5K zone on Bitcoin. So let's see what happens. We do see here a thread. We just hosted a 1-hour press conference to share the active steps we're taking to build upon our efforts to be more compliant with local regulations everywhere. I'd like to share these updates with you now too. If you guys want to read this, you guys can. But they're basically talking about legal practices and all that kind of stuff. It's bullish for Binance to do this, but I think it's bearish in the short term for crypto markets in general. So let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. Now, I do have this. I said a lot of individuals are becoming bullish as we move, but with CZ now stepping down in regards to Binance and regulations, I'm expecting a very bearish PA to play out very soon. So I actually want this to be in response to what I actually quoted yesterday. Now, this goes to 10 hours ago. I said, a lot of people are asking me about this. Well, the Asian markets opened and looks like we survived. Things do pretty good in terms of, look pretty good in terms of the support zone holding, but I expect us to rally a bit and retest the 100-day MA on Bitcoin before most likely dropping again. Just to give you guys an insight, the 100-day MA is actually on, I think it's like about 41K almost on Bitcoin. Now, I do say, watching Bitcoin closely today, my opinion still holds strong here. I believe we see a strong pullback to test around 33.5K, possibly lower, and then we will continue our trend, and I do believe in this 100%. That's just me personally. Obviously, this is not, guaranteed to happen or anything like that, but that is what I'm looking for. Now, we also see all this regulatory stuff hitting the tape before July 28th. It's like discussions have already been happening behind the scenes. Obviously, things have been in talks for quite some time. We've already known this about crypto. I mean, crypto's been in the mouths of pretty much every single regulator, every single government, every single, if you look at it, right, just from, a standpoint of the beginning of this year, even going back to December, the war on crypto has been an ever-growing thing, even from the initial days of Bitcoin basically making its statement. So I think that this has been in talks for a very long time. I would honestly be surprised if it hasn't been in talks for years now. But a lot of bearish things are happening in the market as we do kind of march into this regulatory clarity sort of aspect or regulations aspect. Now, we also see that the Fed is holding a conference tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Maybe he's going to introduce higher interest rates for inflation rates. Who knows what could really come out of this? It could be bearish or it could be bullish. I'm just getting a little bit concerned with most of the things that are evolving in this market. So very, very interesting to see. Now, we also see this playing out. Crypto regulations tomorrow, obviously, right? Now, to me, I think that when we look at Bitcoin currently, it looks very strong, right? Things look good. Looks like we're heading up. Looks like we're about to go to the moon. Everybody's excited. Euphoria is flooding the markets. A lot of people are getting very happy to be back in the green. And that is where a lot of stuff kind of happens, where we do see, for example, all right, Amazon's pretty much lying, or Amazon never stated the obvious. Whoever wrote that article or gave them that intel was lying. It wasn't a Amazon insider or anything like that. That's the problem that we see happening a lot whenever we do see a massive pump like that. We do see the false narrative come out and say, all right, well, this was just a lie, so this actually wasn't realistic at all. And, realistically, if you read that tweet, or if you read what they actually said, it sounded fake from the get-go. So it is what it is, but we are seeing a lot of pushed narrative happening currently. Now, we also see some bullish stuff, right? For an example, we do see here the evolving Ripple Net for tokenized futures. So this is actually going back to July 7th. Now, I talked about tokenization flooding the market and pretty much resulting in a massive amount of inflow for crypto. When we talk about tokenization is going to tokenize pretty much every single asset into a digital age. This is even talking about CBDCs, right? With 40% already testing proof of concept programs. 80% of central banks are exploring use cases involving CBDCs. Even if we come down here, right, we do see that there were only a few exchanges at the time doing a few $1 million a year in volume compared to traditional exchanges like NASDAQ with about $5 billion in volume per day. Fast forward to today, and there are hundreds of exchanges around the world doing billions in volume every day. Tokenization is growing. It's growing very fast, especially for what's happening in crypto. That is why I think regulations are such a big topic right now, is because they do see the value in crypto and they do see it ever growing, and they want a little piece of that pie. So I think the regulations coming into this space are not going to be very bullish for a lot of individuals who are pro crypto. Like for me personally, it does allow for a lot more cryptos to be utilized in the banking and financial district, but we also lose the idea of decentralization because a lot of the government entities are going to have their hand in the pot, and they're going to basically be able to control the pot. But I'm still very bullish on Ripple nonetheless. Now, I do also want to quote this that I actually accidentally looked at, but we do see here Senator Brown, crypto puts Americans' money at risk. We do see here the United States dollar is a perpetual rug pull in slow motion that has been occurring for a century. It happens so slowly that you don't feel the scam directly until it's right around your throat, and you're wondering why you need 3 jobs to make ends meet. Honestly, this is great, right? Even if we talk about it, it's the idea that 10 years ago, right? Or we'll just go back, 5 years ago. And you go to the grocery store and you're buying $20 worth of stuff, right? Totally great. Whatever. Now you go to the grocery store with that same $20 and you barely get what you got 5 years ago. The dollar, when it drops, inflation rates are rising. The dollar is dropping in value. The dollar itself is not useful at all for buying anything at this point because everything is going up in price. This is exactly what they want, right? They want you to be starving out here. I know that that is a broad statement, and a lot of people will be like, well, no way, the government cares about us, whatever. A lot of people are pro-government, but for me personally, when we look at things from a realistic standpoint, the rich get richer off of the poor being poorer, and it's always going to be like that. It's been like that ever since even the Rockefeller days, right? So for me personally, I don't think that's ever going to change. I think that, when these senators talk about crypto putting people's money at risk, or, we need regulations in the space because, people are losing money. people lose money all day long on the stocks. You know, stocks barely go up a year. You know, there's a few stocks that rally, there's a few stocks that do really well, but for the most part, you know, the stock market is just one of those games where you need to be financially rich almost to make any good profit on stocks. But also people lose money all the time on stocks. You know, you hear a lot of stories where somebody says, yeah, I bought this many shares of this stock and, you know, pretty much all my money's gone. You hear it all the time. I even, you know, heard it when I was working in construction with a lot of people who said, you know, they lost a lot of money in the stock market, and it happens all the time. So stocks and crypto, there's no real difference besides the fact that, you know, with crypto, you are purchasing currencies that are real world, you know, projects that could possibly change and reshape the financial district as a whole. And, you know, unless you're investing in something like Dogecoin or Bitcoin or SafeMoon or something like that, you know, you have a high probability of being a very wealthy individual in due time. So always know what you hold. Always be aware of what you hold as well, because knowing what you hold, understanding what you hold, and being able to hold through something where, you know, Bitcoin, it goes down about 40% or 50% like we've just recently seen, that's going to change the game extremely for you as well. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys could follow me on Twitter at NCashOfficial. You guys could also join the free Discord down in the description below. I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out.